Well, hi there. It's me once again. I have been kind of missing in action lately, and there's a reason for this. I had to take a bit of a hiatus, first of all, because I had a pretty nasty sinus infection, and second of all, because we had one hell of a dick smasher of a typhoon land in Japan, and everything got put on hold. But now I'm back, and I have a fatty piece of news for you to chew on, and man oh man, are you going to enjoy digesting what follows. While I was temporarily preoccupied with preparing for a typhoon of doom to make landfall, and dealing with a nasty sinus infection, the cats back at Klaro headquarters in America continued to stuff all sorts of premium cigar blends that we've never carried before into the Klaro portfolio. So imagine my joy when the skies cleared and I came back only to find that we had all sorts of new goodies in stock, all of which I will share with you now. Many of these cigars are on the rare end of the spectrum or almost impossible to get entirely, and we only have a few sticks in stock, whereas others are just new to the portfolio and readily available, but from smaller boutique brands. And in true Klaro fashion, we are doing this purely out of the sake of our love for oddball cigars and being able to share them with you, our beloved members. The easiest way for you to find brand new cigars outside of watching one of these news updates is to go to the Klaro website and click on the All Cigars tab. Once you are there, you will notice that there is a little drop-down side menu for relevancy and things like that and sorting, and just click on New to Old, and voila! You will be able to see the newest options coming to the Klaro portfolio before all else. Now, there are a few caveats, first of all being that if it says out of stock, yes, it probably is out of stock, or it is something that we have just gotten in and it's still being set up in the system. There are multiple steps to getting a cigar to you, so please bear with us while we get everything set up. And while there are plenty of other new cigars that have been added to the Klaro portfolio since we have last spoke, these following stogies are some of the more intriguing ones that we have gotten in. So let's get to it, shall we? Making its grand entrance in 3-pack form is a brand new 3-pack bundle from Lovely Cigars. This bundle includes the 2023 Klaro Surprise Stogie of the Show winner, the Elegante X2, or ×2 as some of you like to refer to it, and 2 brand new cigars that have just launched. One of these is in my hand right now. That is the Bay City Maduro. There is also a Connecticut Shade varietal version of the same blend, and these cigars are so new that, well, I haven't even reviewed them yet, but have enjoyed smoking them. This little 3-pack makes for a great gift idea, and it also allows you to smoke around through part of the Lovely portfolio. Remember, these guys are very, very small boutique brand, but they are growing slowly but surely, and as they do, we love to try out anything that they will release because they make really good cigars. Then there is the number 162 from Lovely, which is labeled at this moment of recording out of stock, purely because we are still setting up in the system and we need to make sure that we can get enough of it to promote via COTM or something of that nature. Regardless as to how we choose to promote this cigar or promote it at all is irrelevant at the moment. What matters is that we are getting it in and you need to try it because, well, you might be one of the first on the planet to try it. And it's got a Sumatran wrapper, which they've never done before. So fun. The next new cigar option to grace the Klaro portfolio is a Maduro Corojo varietal version of Taken from the Devil's Hand by Esteban Carreras. This cigar and its lighter Maduro varietal version is actually called Taken from the Dictator's Hand now, but because the cigar banding and branding hasn't fully transitioned over yet, and they still have some stock in the market, and the name change just happened, it's a bit mixed up mess right now, and nobody really knows who's getting what, at least in regard to the name. What matters is that the blend is still the same, and the cigar is very well reviewed, and we look forward to smoking it along with you. And the only reason we haven't done so yet, though, is because, well, it's so new, we haven't even gotten our hands on it yet. After that, you will likely come across a duo of new cigars from La Aurora, both of which are very limited and very vintage in their blend. Starting things off is the Age 2023, and that cigar is definitely aged. Well, the Age has, or Horse de Agey, as Alabamians like to call it, has a very interesting blend, not just in that it has a Sumatran wrapper, which isn't too common for La Aurora to opt for, but because all of the tobacco in it has been aged for at least 12 years. I don't know about y'all, but that's some really old tobacco. This is a blend that's a little bit more on the higher end side of things, so if you're looking at a 5-pack, just keep that in mind. It's definitely an upper tier sort of smoke and not something that you're going to want to be gnawing on while you mow the lawn. But if you got a wedding on the horizon or an anniversary or a funeral, we've got you covered. The next cigar from La Aurora is also a high dollar vintage age sort of smoke, and that is the Puro Vintage 2009. Available in a Salomon Vitola and one hell of an attractive looking wrapper from Ecuador on the outside, this smoke is one of those that has a date or year on it for a very good reason. The reason for this is simple. That is the year that crop was harvested. So expect some really old tobacco in this premium to ultra premium cigar blend. That was a lot of premiums, wasn't it? For those of you who may have missed it, we recently released a news blast where yours truly strolled around the PCA 2024 booth and met with someone named Oliver Nichols, who just so happened to start his own premium boutique cigar line called German Engineered Cigars. I won't get too deep into the details, but this guy is absolutely awesome on camera and off camera as well, and his cigars kick more ass than Arnold Schwarzenegger in the action films. Even though Arnold was Austrian, not German, come to think of it. Anywho, we stocked 2 new cigars from German Engineered Cigars, or GEC as we like to call them, including Raumzeit, which is space-time, and the Schmerz, which is a very depressing name, and it basically correlates to feeling very solemn. 2 very unique blends from a very interesting company with an equally intriguing amount of backstory. Definitely check them out if we have them in stock because they are selling fast. Aiming to bolster our La Polina portfolio even further comes the red label from the brand that includes sun-grown Ecuadorian Habano wrapper leaf. This is one of those blends that we thought about getting in, but didn't get in, and now we are getting in, and we are happy that we did because it tastes freaking fantastic. Definitely a medium smoke without being too strong, but with lots of character and tons of woody notes for those who like that outdoor rough and tumble taste without too much strength. This is also another one of those cigars that is under $50 a 5-pack, so if you are trying to mind your budget, it's definitely a good one to consider. Since not everyone is into woody top notes and medium strength Ecuador Habano sun-grown goodness all the time, we have decided to start stocking Arlequin from Fratello Cigars for those who need a little bit of Connecticut shade milky, silky creaminess. This is one of those smooth sailing, ultra velvety sort of smokes that produces lots of cumulus nimbus style clouds of smoke without it being too much of a rough and tough draw as well in regard to its aftertaste. It's got a little bit of Peruvian tobacco in that long filler to help add some flavor and a little bit of strength without pushing it too far beyond that mild to medium mark. Definitely one of those smokes for fans of Connecticut shade cigars to try, especially since it's brand new in stock. Jumping straight to the other side of the premium cigar flavor profile spectrum is the 2024 edition of Pledge of Allegiance by EP Carrillo. This is a big, bold smoke that is more full than most, and it's got some strength behind it. Part of the reason for this is because it has a fair deal of American tobacco in it, which is, go figure, very appropriate for the name of the cigar. And also because, well, it's EP Carrillo. He likes to make a tougher smoke that's very balanced at the same time, so prepare yourself for full with this guy. It's also a bit of a limited edition smoke and on the price you're in, so if you're in the mood to score yourself something for next year's 4th of July and do a vintage, even vertical side-by-side comparison, now's the time to pick some up because when they are gone, these are gone forever. Easily the smallest new cigar to grace the Klaro portfolio is El Pulpo, the Fry, by Artesano del Tabaco. Measuring just 4 inches long with a tiny, tiny, tiny 48 ring gauge and an adorable little pigtail cap, this cigar has the identical blending ingredients to the regular El Pulpo, but goes through a very different aging and fermentation process to achieve what they market as a very different flavor profile and smoking experience. This is another one of those ultra rare limited release cigars that we probably will never see again. So if you are interested in something that is rather rich and coffee centric and quite delicious, because it's Artesano, they don't make bad cigars, and they are AJ Fernandez backed through and through, so you know it's really good tobacco, then this is going to be one for you to pick up. Oh, in case you're wondering, if you don't know what a fry is, it's like shrimp, octopus, same deal. Itty bitty little guys. Yeah, before they become adults. The fry. Cute, huh? Another recent addition or re-addition to the Klaro portfolio is a trifecta of cigars from Artista, out of the Dominican Republic, that we stocked and sold out of and then had to restock again, so it's back. While I personally am a sucker for the Harvest Sumatra, there are those who will go bonkers over the Falu Broadleaf, or get all antsy in their pantsy for the Midnight Maduro, which is definitely on the richer, earthier end of the cocoa spectrum. All three of these cigars are moderately priced and come box pressed in the most rounded yet pristine way possible. This is another one of those quasi-boutique brands that we are thrilled to have in the Klaro portfolio, and stay tuned because there are other sticks within their portfolio that we want to bring in before you know it. And the last, and in my opinion, one of the most overlooked cigars, at least new cigars in the Klaro portfolio, is Icarus by Jake Wyatt Cigars. Icarus has a San Andres Maduro wrapper, which is what it is, but what sets this one apart is what is inside of the stick. This is a blend that contains Tennessee fire-cured tobacco. So there's gonna be some smoky barbecue-like notes to the stick, along with some rich, strong tobacco flavor profiles from some of the other ingredients. It has some Piloto Cubano in it, it's got some Criollo 98, it's got a whole bunch of everything inside of it, and the cigar is marketed as the strongest cigar that has been produced for Jake Wyatt by Jake Wyatt. So if you're in the mood for something smoky and strong and relatively rare, this is one final awesome option for you to consider if you're perusing the latest and greatest and newest options here at Klaro.